this online rapid format. How will he do? And here we go, the moves are coming out.
Here we go. It's a Sicilian defense. I'm not sure I expected this one, to be honest. Firstly, Rapport opening with the king's pawn doesn't happen every day, and Magnus now reacting with the Sicilian. We're more used to seeing that, but it shows he's in a fighting mood. But to do that as black against such an aggressive player like Rapport comes with some risk entailed. So, meanwhile, the closed Sicilian. We're used to seeing open Sicilians at this top level. The closed Sicilian maybe dropping out of fashion ever since the days of Spassky, the former world champion. And, Magnus using a very provocative style in the opening. Look at black's rook on this left side of the board. It's already moved, and it's only moved 4 or 5. That is rare at this early stage. And Rapport stops the advance of black's pawns on this left side just by pushing his own pawn forward 1 square. I must admit, it's nice to see Rapport dressed in the Champions Chess Tour hoodie in the jacket there. It shows he's really, really embracing this tournament, and he wants to make his mark.
Yeah, and getting into the spirit of things, I feel. And Magnus really playing very ambitious chess, because if this works out for him, he will have an excellent version of the traditional lines that you play against the closed Sicilian. Because normally, you know, you do get this left side pawn advance, but you kind of don't get it in this particular way.
You have to work for it.
Exactly, you have to work for it a little bit harder, and also you have to determine where your pieces on the right side of the board are going to go. Here, Magnus is trying to be a maximalist. He's trying to get everything he wants, and I'm kind of curious, because I must admit, this was one of my favorite openings when I was younger. And okay, here comes the quirkiness, here comes the madness, because now we have a move that's never been seen before. Surprise, surprise. And it's initiating chaos.
Yeah, it's only move 6, and they're in a brand new position already. Both players freestyling. Rapport, he's known for this. He's super creative. He's actually got a very classical upbringing in Hungary. They always teach players the basics. They look at the world champions, they look at all the classic games, but he used that classical training to kind of inspire his creative juices, his creative style, and that's why pushing pawns on this left side, both of them now have created maximum tension, and finally white's knight comes in, and I think we'll see white castle over the next move or 2. Okay, he does that now. So white is the first to get ready, and we call this the closed Sicilian, but it might well open up later. At the moment, no pawn trades, no piece trades, that's why it's a closed Sicilian, but we might well see white try and explode things open before black is ready.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned that Richard is from Hungary, and I don't know, immediately I thought back to this conversation I had on a bus, a very long bus ride I had with Peter Lecko, and he was telling me all about the Hungarian school of chess. And it works like this. He says, every Hungarian has their openings very nicely worked.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys. it sound right, boys.
Through to your king, but here, with enough time on his clock, with 5 minutes, it feels like Magnus isn't going to slip. He's played perfectly in the defensive phase so far. He's kind of mixed attack with defense, Magnus. He's gone on the attack on this left side of the board, with his knights especially, grabbing a couple of pawns in the process, and now he's gone a bit on the defensive. He's put the black king on a good square, and now the black knight is going to just jump back as a potential defender. So yeah, it's looking difficult. Rapport lifting his queen up one square. Maybe a bit tricky there. Maybe some ideas in mind, as Ivanka mentioned, of the white knight dropping back on the check. But the other move you mentioned, the defensive resource, will end this game because one of white's pride and joys, those knights, has been removed. Now white only has two potential attackers, the queen and knight, and faced with several defenders is not going to be enough. Magnus just ruthless.
Yeah.
I think that's the clincher of this move, because there were some threats actually, but Magnus had calculated ahead and foreseen those threats.
He just followed the rules, right? I mean, I'm sure Magnus calculated it all, but he was kind of aided by the rule that, you know, when you're in danger, trade off your opponent's attackers, and you have to remember 3 is the magic number, and there were 3 potential attackers brewing, and Richard unfortunately had to take a timeout to capture the bishop, and queen and knight is not going to be sufficient.
Yeah, white, for example, can step back with his knight and give check, but it's only going to be one check, really. And Magnus here actually has a choice on the menu. Which rook do you capture? Both of your black knights have a choice of rook. What would you go for, Ivanka? Or would you just kind of be really cold-blooded and just not capture either rook? Because you could maybe capture the next move.
Yeah, I mean, exactly, you have your choice for a feast, so, you know, those rooks are, leave them be, and instead probably take time out just to clarify the danger, potential danger around the king.
Yeah.
How to do that? Haven't quite figured out how to do that. Well, maybe there might be some kind of pesky, perpetual idea, is there?
Just not enough attacking pieces left. Richard now, he's down a rook, and he's down 2 pawns, and there we go. He does resign.
Wow, he resigns after 29 moves again.